keeping with our theme of celebrating, we're kind of doing a preemptive strike. We want to be able to celebrate this coming Thursday. That is when the fire marshal is going to be visiting us. And just to reflect very briefly back to the start of school and how we had a 2-hour-long faculty meeting in the parking lot while we were waiting for the fire marshal to give us the go-ahead. So this is one of those little bumps that Ms. Peterson was talking about. This is some important stuff. A lot of it you've already seen. For example, the 36-inch rule. But you'd be surprised. All of the administrators divided up the building, and we walked around and we visited every room. And you would think after all of the time that we've been reminding this that we have it under control. We don't. So please keep the 36-inch rule in mind. And I know we added some of the complexity to it ourselves when we talked about, okay, when we have an evacuation, you need to cover your window. So that was that debate between the fire marshal and the police department as to whether or not we can have something on the door. This Thursday, there can be nothing on the door. All right, so please make sure that you remove all of your really nice artwork for the kids. Make sure you remove all your Post-it notes. Make sure you remove your door covers. Your classroom windows may not be covered this Thursday when the fire marshal does his visit. In the hallway, some of you are doing some wonderful posting of student work. It looks wonderful, but it cannot be close to 36 inches to a door. So a lot of that student work needs to be moved away from the doors. Smoke detectors, this is common sense. You can't cover them up, otherwise they don't work so well. Ceiling clearance, the downstairs is looking really good because it all got cleared out and painted. But the upstairs, we're still having a little bit of trouble of stuff a little too high. We've got the cabinets that we'd love to put stuff on. Please don't put anything on that top shelf of the cabinets. We have data cables stretched across the floor. I get it. Why they put that data cable receptacle in the wall where they did is very perplexing, especially when you want your desk on the other side of the room. And some of you have been ingenious. You bought a great big long cable and stretched it right across the center of the room. Might I suggest a little bit longer cable? And to do the legwork for you, I found a 50-foot cable at Walmart, shipping free, for under $13. And that cable will go along the edge of your room from wherever the receptacle is to your desk. This one even has the sound, so yes, the sound works as well. No, Albeen does not buy these for you. I wish we did. Absolutely, unequivocally, no exceptions. There are to be no extension cords. Thou shalt not have an extension cord. If thou needs to have something further away than the receptacle, thou shalt have a great big long power strip. Now it occurred to me, having found all of the piggybacking over the last year and a half that I've been here, maybe nobody told you what piggybacking was. So piggybacking is when you go from one power strip to another. You cannot do that. You need to have 2 power strips with long cords plugged all the way back into the receptacle. So all of my technology folks that are just like me, please do not piggyback when? Most particularly, Thursday. Okay, now, this is one of those, okay, it's a tripping hazard, but you can't tape it to the floor. So there's been some really ingenious work. I've got masking tape, I've got duct tape, I've got saran wrap, all kinds of stuff to stick the cables to the floor so that it doesn't trip. However, it is still considered a tripping hazard, and we can't have that. So if you would be kind enough to go out and purchase a floor cable cover. That's acceptable. You put the cords inside of it. This is okay. No, Aldine does not purchase that for you. So at the beginning of the year, I had some wonderful folks in the temporary building come to me and they go, Dr. Halbert, that sun is killing my students. I can't get anything done. And I said, okay, well, you need to do something about that. And they said, well, we want to cover our windows with paper. And I said, you can't. And they said, but we can't. And I said, well, you need to do something about that. So some of you did. You did a very good job, and you covered your windows. Notice nobody has said anything because we know blinds are coming. But on Thursday, guess what? That can't be there on Thursday. Okay? Please, please, please take all your paper products, all of your combustible material, all of your streamers and everything down from the windows, particularly in the temporary buildings. You cannot obstruct a doorway. That's not good. So some of you in closets and stuff had a few things in the way. We need to make sure that there is no obstruction. So this was brought to my attention. This is a new one. We have a couple of chemical closet storage areas, and this is a big concern. So I'm trying to put on my serious face look. These doors, these storage areas, must remain locked. I don't know if you think you're doing somebody a favor by unlocking them. Oh, it's going real fast. But that cable, the chemical storerooms must remain locked. Otherwise, there's a steep fine that we could find ourselves with. So please make those areas secure. We've gone around the building. We've tried really hard to make sure all of the ceiling tiles have been addressed. And just today, I saw one of our star basketball players jump up and pop another one out. So all of that hard work. And of course, he went, oh, that's cool, and walked away. So please, if you find a ceiling tile that is misaligned, or if you have one missing, or you have one damaged, just email me, because that's also something that we need to address. So please make sure the ceiling tiles are done. Maps. I know that the upstairs, I've been promising the maps. I've been trying to get students to work on them. They did. Then we started over and worked on them. And then we started over and worked on them. But they're ready to be laminated and will be to you tomorrow. That's the emergency evacuation maps for the upstairs. Email. So over the weekend, I sent out 85 emails to individuals about concerns. It's not something to get into trouble about. They're just things that need your attention. Can you believe there are still a number of people that have not opened that email? So please, if you got an action required email, that's one of the ones you need to open up and read. Okay? And please do what's inside it. The buddy system. So we started the buddy system with our fire drill. Our goal is to celebrate on Thursday. So to celebrate on Thursday, we need to make sure everybody is in compliance. And we know that there are some of us that need more help than others. So please go to your neighbor, your buddy, and make sure their room is in compliance, and that would be a great help. And if all goes well, won't be like last year. Last year, we failed. And I don't know if you all remember what happened. Our next 2 months were in misery while we tried to fix the problems. Our goal this year is to pass on the first go-round, and by doing so, we'll be able to celebrate.